Hello, my name is Anneshia Freeman. I'm also known as the locksmith because I make keys for people who are locked up in their minds. I'm back again at my workstation in my kitchen, and I decided to make another video. I'm seeing that my webcam is still recording me in slow motion, so I apologize for that if it's coming across like that on the YouTube video. But most of the videos that I said another video because I've already made several videos and uploaded them to my YouTube station. The ones that I've made in my kitchen at my table were all based on chapters in my book entitled What's Really Going On. This particular book contains 31 of my articles that's been featured in my bi-weekly column in the Grand Rapids Times. I'm not here to talk about this book today. This is volume 1. I'm here to talk about volume 2 that I'm getting ready to release shortly. This book, it'll be the same title, What's Really Going On, which is actually the name of my column in the Grand Rapids Times. But this will be volume 2, which will contain 34 of my articles that have been written since volume 1 was published in 2011. All of these articles are also written in the vein of cognitive restructuring, which is one of my specialties, and they're written from the spiritual and secular perspective. Most of the articles are written from the spiritual perspective, but they are relevant to any audience, okay? So I thought today I would start by telling you the name of some of the chapters in my new book. This book will be released by the October 15th. That's the estimated release date for this particular volume. Volume 2. One of the articles in the book is entitled The Don't Make Waves Trap. And in that particular article, I talk about how a lot of people suffer with this unconscious issue of don't make waves that traps them. It keeps them locked up, whether in relationships, it keeps them locked up professionally. It's a horrible, dysfunctional, unconscious belief to suffer with. And I talk about it in that article. I have another chapter in the book entitled Everybody Doesn't Think Like You. And in that particular article, I talk about how some people suffer with certain issues and they just assume that other people have those issues. For example, some people assume the responsibilities of others and they file it under love. And some people don't suffer with that issue. And a lot of people who suffer with you have to assume the responsibilities of others, their own responsibilities are often lacking, are not being addressed because they're so busy using all their resources taking care of everybody else. And then they get upset and indignant because no one will help them catch the balls they're dropping on their own stuff. So I talk about that. See, I'm qualified to talk about all of this stuff because I specialize in cognitive restructuring and I've suffered with a lot of these issues that I address. I don't suffer with the don't make waves. That's not one of my big issues, okay? And then there's another article entitled The Free Key Syndrome. I'm reading my table of contents. The Free Key Syndrome. The price of freedom versus the price of bondage. You're going to pay somebody. And in this article, I open up with a quote because all of my articles open up with a quote by a well-known people. But this particular article, I wrote the opening quote. And the opening quote, which actually summarizes what the article is about, it says, I'm amazed that jailers I'm amazed that jailers can convince prisoners who pay rent on their cells not to purchase a key because the key should be free. Let me say that again. I'm amazed that jailers can convince prisoners who pay rent on their cells not to purchase a key because the key should be free. The price of freedom versus the price of bondage. You're going to pay somebody. Then I have some Rhema Revelations these articles were written from the spiritual perspective. A Rhema some Rhema. Rhema, for those who's not familiar with that word, it's a special revelation that God gives a person about a scripture in the Bible relevant for such a time as this. And so I have one of the Rhema revelations articles that I've written in this book is entitled "Go Look in That Fish Mouth." Another one is "Pour the Oil in the Vessel, Package the Products." Okay. All right. And so then I'll just read the name of the other articles without elaborating much on them. There's one entitled "Life as the Perpetual Interview," "My Process versus Your Process," "The New Pimp Game," "Power in Manipulating Potential." Pimp a die, America. "New Year, New Mindset," "Revisiting the Trap or the Cheese." There's an article in my volume 1 entitled "Was it the trap or the cheese? What's your cheese?" I revisit that issue. Just bothers me so much. I deemed it was necessary to revisit that topic. Another article is entitled "Sweat Equity versus Sunk Costs." And I also connect another concept, escalation of commitment, to how people confuse sweat equity with sunk costs. The sincerest form of flattery, cheating. I know most people say it's imitation. I believe the sincerest form of flattery is cheating. And I talk about why I believe that in that particular article. Because when you cheat, you're saying, there's no way I could win if everything was equal. So we'll have to cheat. Another article is entitled "The Unsavory Salt Recipe." I teach you how to make unsavory salt. And another article, "Who Hath Bewitched You, America?" And then I add 4 articles to the Matrix series. I'm going to have eventually about 50 articles on the Matrix series. This particular book, volume 1, has 8 articles based on the movie The Matrix. I add 4 more to volume 2. And the name of those articles, 4 articles based on The Matrix, is Specific Instructions. You were given specific instructions. And The Exit, that's from the Matrix series. Looking at the Matrix Decoded. When I see people, I see code. And the final article in the Matrix series is Moving Through the Matrix. Are you bumping into people? Okay. Then I have 6 articles in this book in the Purpose series. I wrote a series of articles based on purpose, finding out what happens when one discovers their purpose and some things that they need to do. The first article in that series is entitled "The Perimeters of Purpose." Part 2 is entitled "Purpose Driven Focus." Part 3 is "Purpose Restricting Lies That Bind." Part 4, "Purpose Aware Health Maintenance." Part 5, "Purpose Awareness of Kingdom Posts." Who's on and who's off? Who's on and who's off duty? Okay. And the final article in the Purpose series is entitled "The Purpose Sabotaging Agenda of Temptation." All right. Then I wrote, was it 5 or 6? I wrote 6 articles based on the movie Poseidon. The movie Poseidon is just like, in my estimation, it is the best movie ever produced by Hollywood to show people how to overcome obstacles as they endeavor to climb from one level to the next. And so I break down the obstacles and the techniques and strategies that the people in the movie The Poseidon used as they did this time-sensitive climb from one level to the other. And it was time-sensitive. Their life was in danger, okay? And so part 1 in the Poseidon series is entitled "If You're Coming, Keep Up." Part 2 in the Poseidon series is entitled "Wait for the Rescue Ship or Start Climbing." Part 3, "Shake Him or Her Off or You Both Die." Part 4, "What's that noise? Is that the rescue ship?" No. Keep climbing. Part 5, get in over your head or stand still and sink. Part 6 in the Poseidon series is entitled, Come On, They Did the Hard Part. Okay, and then the final 3 articles in my new book is based on the movie Inception. Outside of The Matrix, Inception is just about my most favoriteest movie. I like the Poseidon. I like Cinderella Man. I like The Edge of Tomorrow. I Live, Die, Repeat. I'm gonna write a series of articles based on that movie too. That was awesome. So there's a few articles few movies that I really like, but The Matrix and Inception. Okay, so I have 3 articles based on the movie Inception. I might write some more, but they're not going to be. But it's only 3 in volume 2 of what's really going on. The first article in that series is entitled The Mind Thieves. Part 2 in the Inception series is entitled Sleep on 3 Levels. And the final article in that series is entitled The Dream World Architects. All right, so stay tuned for more information. I might do 1 or 2 videos where I actually expound at length on one of those chapters, just to get you excited and ready for the release that's happening in October. In the meantime, if you would like to order volume 1, so you can be up to date with the Matrix series and get a feel for my work and my specialty, cognitive restructuring, you can order my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and ebook format, or you can visit my website, www.anneshiaconsulting.com. And if you see my name up here, it's spelled ANNESHIA. AnnesiaConsulting.com. Just go to my store, the store page on my website, and you'll see some other products there. I have this book. I have a workbook entitled The Adult Reenactment of the Childhood Script, which helps people identify some of their childhood patterns, unconscious patterns that they're reliving as adults. And then I have a book, my workbook, The 100 Most Commonly Seen Unconscious Lies. That's a workbook that teaches you how to use the set of cards that I distribute with the workbook. And I also made a video about that about it in depth that you can see on my YouTube station. But that's available. And I have a 7 CD series based on the lies that bind from the spiritual perspective that I delivered at my church over a course of 7 weeks. So it's 7 CDs, and but it's the lies that bind from the spiritual perspective, totally from the spiritual perspective. Okay, so until next time, this is Anneshia the locksmith saying, see you later.